Now we are getting some breaking news with regards to what happened in that Rodney Hinton sheriff deputy being run over. Now, during his trial intake, we saw a bunch of stuff happening in the gallery. Now, if you guys don't know what the gallery is, that is when you go in a courtroom and people are sitting out there. So we heard a whole bunch of stuff going on. And at one point, they needed to take Rodney and put him in the back because they did not know what was going on. So we are getting some information as to what actually took place in the courtroom. Y'all, let's get into why this man was escorted out of the court.
Come on, man. Y'all cool. I just want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. My brother can't see me. They did this shit before. They did this shit before.
I want to kind of talk about that. Now, I don't know if y'all can understand what he's saying. What he's saying is they did this before. They did this shit before. Now, I don't know who this man is. We don't know if this is a family member of Rodney Hinton. Nobody has said they know this man. So we don't even know who he is. Now, we don't know. Is he a family member? Nobody has said that. Rodney is in jail, but this guy is screaming saying they did this before. We don't know if this is somebody that has watched this story and decided to just come to court. Nobody has said who this man really is. Now, he is saying that he is the brother of this man. We don't know if this is just somebody, just a regular person having a mental breakdown. Nobody has acknowledged who this guy is. Just want to throw that out there.
Before. I got video of him messing with my brother and me before. I ain't do nothing. I just wanted my brother to see me. That's why I ain't do nothing to him. He talking about that's my family. That's my family and that's all. Doing all that. And see me more on what, man? I got 40 motherfuckers there for my brother, man. Talking like y'all hard. Y'all can't do that shit what I want. Word to God, man. I can't even see that little brother. Y'all got that shit there. Y'all got that shit there.
So again, don't know what's going on in that particular situation, but I wanted to jump on here and kind of talk about it because this was the commotion that we actually saw in the court with this guy being removed. Now, if y'all don't remember, go back and check out my earlier video, but he actually walked up to the glass and was knocking on the glass, and I was like, wait a minute, does he not know you can't do that? Or what is he thinking? Now, look, I ain't been there either. I don't know nothing about the jail like that, but I know if somebody is behind the glass and anything that's proceeding in court, you can't walk up to the window and do this. So I don't know what he was thinking. He could have just, he could have stood up, waved or whatever, but the knocking on the glass, I'm not sure what he thought or what his intentions were. That's why I'm saying I don't even know if this is somebody who is close to their family. Just because somebody say that's my brother, that don't mean that they are even related. And sometimes these people don't even know those folks. So I have no idea who this guy is. We do not know if he is related to this family. If you guys watch the the attorney did speak, and he did say that this guy was not his client's brother. So what does that mean? It simply means this: nobody knows who this guy is. No one has acknowledged him, to say he is actually part of their family. He could be a friend to the family, or he could be just a person who is, following this case, and maybe he feel like he has some attachment to Rodney. Who knows? But that is pretty much, like I said, the commotion that you guys saw in the court. And that is what happened. So you guys are able to see the other side of it, as far as him being, so now he has to leave. Now, in my opinion, when I saw it, the only thing I felt like they didn't need to do, is when the officer walked up to him and grabbed him. He didn't really need to touch the man, because for me, I got reflexes. So a lot of times, if I'm in a strange place and I'm not at home, if I, somebody grab, you may just get that, so I didn't understand why the officer was pulling him. He was literally pulling the man. And I'm just like, you don't know what that man's reflexes could have been. You never identify who you are. He has his back turned and you're pulling him. So I didn't understand that. And it seemed too much. And not only did it seem too much, even when he pulled the man, and the guy turned around to acknowledge, like, hey, what's going on? And then every officer in the courtroom got up. So the police need to sit their ass down with this gang mentality. Approach people as people and approach them in situations. Nobody is threatening you, motherfuckers. Stop. Here's the deal. Stop being a police if you so fucking scared. If you so scared, stop doing this job, because trying to intimidate people is just gonna make people don't give a about you and maybe not even like you. So I feel like the officer, the situation, it was escalated more so than it needed to be. I feel like if he would have just went up to him and said, excuse me, sir, then the guy would have turned around and he could have said, you can't stand up, or you can't do this, or whatever it was he was doing that he couldn't do. All he had to do was actually say that. But I feel like walking up behind them, pulling them when a person does not know who is pulling them from behind could be a problem, because I feel like that's not necessary. I feel like he escalated it, and I think that he further escalated it, because even then, the guy turned around and they were having a conversation. During the start of the conversation, all of the other officers stood up. So it's like just knock it off. If you are a police and you're scared, just don't do that job. Just stop. Even with the police officer that killed this kid, now they still have to look at the video footage. I don't believe he pointed a gun at him, because that is what they all say. All of them say the same shit, but we done saw these white people beat the fuck out of him and nothing happened to him. So I'm not buying it until I see the proof. I said what I